Hello, I'm author Gabriel Chana, and I just finished designing the hardback version of Jesus, the Eternal Bridegroom, which is the Forbidden Abyss series, part 2. This is the hardback. I am offering this for sale at Amazon. I mean, the paperback and ebook are at Amazon, but the hardback is at eBay. And here's what the book looks like. All right, there it is. When I first designed this book for Barnes & Noble's Nook Press, I thought that they would market it for me, and I went to the trouble to design such a beautiful book, and I was just, let's see if I can get better lighting here, and I was just cast characters. I was so disappointed to realize that I would have to sell it myself. And I thought people deserve to have this beautiful hardback version of the book. It's the same text as what's at Amazon, so if you can't afford the $23.98, which is how much I have to charge for this, because it cost me about $18.49 to order it from Nook Press. Plus, that includes the cost of the book, shipping and handling, and that so it cost me $18.49 to order it from Nook Press. And then what I'm going to do is, if you decide to order this book, I will give you free shipping because I'm going to order it straight. I will go to the Nook Press website and there's first chapter, introduction. This chapter is about Jesus giving me writing instruction, and he was very upset with me with my first draft of this book, which I've totally threw in the trash and did something different. He said, Gail, you need to write the story of you and your men. He said, I want it to be nonfiction. What you're going to get in this book is the stuff that should be going in the news and which you don't hear in the news. Okay? The problem with the mainstream news media is they're owned and run by the Jesuit order of the Roman Catholic Church. If the news people do not report what the Jesuit guidelines for news reporting, then what happens is that they get killed and replaced with their clones. That's what the Jesuits say. You don't report the news the way we want it reported, then we're going to kill you and replace you with your clone. And this is what I asked my men, why is not, there's a Gabriel Chana Fox News channel, and it's separate from the mainstream Fox News. And that's the only news station in the world that's reporting the truth. And they're based on the stories of me and my men, which is what you're going to get. Jesus Christ in a UFO. I've got the chapter headings right up there at the top for each, to make it so that when people are going through the book, they'll know exactly where they're at. That's the title of this chapter's Church of Gail, which talks about how and why my men started the Church of Gail. Hugh Jackman's heroic robot. That was when my mother almost died. A 1 million-strong Jesuit army in North Korea had her and Hugh Jackman as prisoners. San Francisco Jesuit homosexual compound. These are the chapter titles. And you can see the book is beautifully designed here. And I had just thought it's such a beautiful book, and this should last for a long time, be in a hardback for a lifetime. And I just think that this is such a nice book here. And like I said, free shipping. If you order more than one, I can give you a cheaper price because Barnes & Noble gives me quantity discounts. So I can knock it off about almost $2, like 20. I have it at the eBay site. So the link to my eBay site that's selling the hardback is underneath this video. Or if you want, just go to ebay.com and do a search under Gabriel Chana, my writer's name. Or for the title, do a search on the title of the book, or do a search under Brent Spiner books, because he is the narrator for this book. This book is told in first person through Brent Spiner's point of view, based on actual writings from Brent Spiner, which I obtained and which have made it into this book. So Brent Spiner has actually used this book in court as sworn testimony in court while he's been fighting Jesuits in court, and he's actually used this book as sworn testimony. This book is so important. It's so important for people to know what's going on. And like the new cocky that hit Canada, right here. There's a whole chapter on that. See Zach Knight's new cocky in Canada. And this goes into a lot of the questions people ask me, like, how can they make a tidal wave of semen? That's ridiculous. This book explains some of the science behind it. And that's one reason it's such a big book, 342 pages, because it's kind of like a true science fiction novel. It's written like in the format of a science fiction novel. So I had to explain some of the technology, so I needed more space to do it. So every chapter, so I got the heading of the book right there, and then the chapter heading on that side. That's just to help orient you as you read it. Jesus Christ appeared at Fox News. There is stuff in here that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. And just look at the chapter titles here, and you'll just get a feel. Cast of characters. Oops. Cast of characters right there. That kind of like tells you something. Take a look at that. Okay. I get you a feel for the book. Table of contents. Of course, this is the exact same book that I am selling at Amazon. So if you can't afford to pay $23.98, go to Amazon.com and buy the paperback or the ebook. The ebook's the cheapest of all. But this is a sturdy book designed for the tribulation saints, who I predict are going to have this book right next to the Bible while they're dealing with the Antichrist. There's the picture of the Antichrist. These pictures are accurate. This is what he really looks like, folks. Don't let that guy fool you. Here's the real Jesus, and there's the fake, though. What he's going to do to try to fool people, I don't know. He might. He's got such strong brain control, you could probably look at him, and you might think you're looking at Jesus Christ. So this book goes into the brain control technology, the cloning technology, all the stuff. Some of the latest technologies which are being used in war to kill millions of people is being exposed in this book. It's rightly titled The Forbidden Abyss. Anyways, if you go to my eBay site, you can, it's a 6x9 book. The camera's not the best in the world. It's a 6x9 book. You go to my eBay site. I'm selling it for $23.98, free shipping. What I'm going to do is input your phone number and address into their website and have them ship you the book straight from Barnes & Noble's Nook Press. And they actually use a vendor in Tennessee. And it looks like, and it goes out from there. They used UPS with me, so no P.O. boxes. Anyways, go to my eBay page, and if you want, this is my masterpiece, my best work yet. I've been studying writing for about 20 years. And my next book's going to be about Vladimir Putin, but this one here, beautiful book. You want to, so anyways, ebay.com, do a search under Gabriel Chana, and free shipping.